Good morning, YouTube. Thanks for coming back to the Plant Daddy's channel. It's been rainy, thankfully, lately. I've been working. I'm off today. It's gonna rain soon, so there's mosquitoes out, so there's gonna be a quick one. This is on a cool hack for tomatoes. You can get them for free if you have them already established, like the ones behind me. So basically we're gonna propagate them ourselves and just go ahead and take some cuttings. You should use regular housing scissors, as long as they're clean. Make sure everything's sterile and clean. Or clippers, which we'll probably use these on the thicker ones, and those other ones on the smaller ones. And some water. It's really clones that we're doing for tomato plants. We're just gonna cut them, cut off the leaves, any extra leaves on them, stick them in the water because they'll root from the bottom, and then we got a new plant that's exactly like the mother plant. So let's get to it. As I said before, with Coda messing with us, it's gonna be a very short video because of it's been raining. It's about to rain, the mosquitoes, and I have limited time off, so I'm gonna do some other stuff while it rains, and enter any other excuse or oh, you trying to break stuff for us, Coda? So we're gonna do a couple just to show you if Coda doesn't mess with us. I'm gonna use both ones. So this is a good specimen here. This is gonna be a good specimen. Hopefully you can see this. If not, we'll do some more. But I'm just cutting in here down on one of these leaves that are coming out, one of these branches, lower branches, because then it's going to keep the tomato plant more healthy, and it's going to get them to produce tomato fruit. And then they're kind of dying anyway, and they need to be cleaned up just for the overall health of the plant and the growth. So you just cut it kind of like that. I cut it at an angle down, and then you're gonna snip at the edges of all these lower branches, because in this lower end is gonna end up rooting. Tomatoes are cool like that, but they'll send out roots from here, and you could bury them. You can go up to like the 3 main leaves, but I'll go to a decent amount because I don't really baby my plants too much. And then just put them in the water, and I'm gonna separate these in new water. I get water from my rain barrel. It captured a lot of rain and it's overflowing all the time now. It has a little overflow, but it's natural water. I'm gonna put them all in one just for convenience of taking them back, and then I'll separate them out. And then in like a week or two, I have a whole bunch of roots and be ready. Adult sized plant. Well, it's gonna have to grow a little bit to get bigger, but adult plant, clone of the mother plant, will be available. So I use the house. It was nice and smooth. Now I'm gonna use this on a bigger branch over here. It's already tomatoing, so this is gonna help the tomato as well. But cut it at an angle, it'll heal. But then you cut the lower leaves. Use as many as you want. Don't go too ham on it. You want some stuff to grow, so I'll leave it like that. And then all these little hairs are gonna end up turning into roots. Really cool. And you got a tomato plant. And this is how to get them for free if you have some established. Coda is a gardener too. She's a beginner gardener. I'm a master gardener. Coda was a novice gardener. But they've been gardening for a little bit. She's gardening for her first couple weeks. She's 11 weeks old. She's a real sweet girl. She's a brat though, a lot. It's crazy. I could tell the difference between her and Coda and Kovu when he was young. Coda and Kovu. Kovu was a lot less bratty. He was needy, but she's real needy and bratty. And a princess. She just gets treated better than he did, unfortunately. But he's okay. He came out well. But I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these. I know you guys want to go and stuff. Where you guys want to stay and watch, ask questions. You can get all of them, but they grow well. Tomatoes grow well in full sunlight, part shade. Like I need to trim all these bottoms, so I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna have a lot of tomato plants to plant elsewhere in the garden, and we'll see where maybe you guys have some suggestions. Y'all see my garden tour if you want to look around. I'm gonna create another tomato area, so because they are not self-pollinating, a lot of them. So that's why I have them the same brand right next to each other, so they can pollinate each other, and then there'll be minimal cross-pollination. But the next one I'm gonna put all kind of crazy together, which in every way. So I'm not even gonna keep them orderly, and hopefully they cross-pollinate so I can get some cool tomatoes. And then if it works like that, I'm pretty sure it does. I'm a scientist by trade. I like botany a lot. I'm interested in genes, splicing, humans also. I'm actually working in the medical field, but I'm interested in all this stuff, and then cloning. It's really, really interesting to me, so I love to do this. And this cloning part for propagation is very rewarding experience, very calming. And then you can even save these ones that are dying down here, because this needs to be cleaned up, and use them as another mother plant eventually. Be the same clone. So it's really cool. And I like seed starting too, so eventually I'll be seed starting too. That's real cool too. But these tomatoes are growing pretty good. Got the trellises up. I'm gonna start attaching them so they'll have some support. And get them. I might even get extra ones in the middle soon. Space it out a little better before I attach them. We'll see if how I do that. All right, so now that I have a whole bunch of these tomatoes, leaves, got a bunch of these little tomato leaves. I'm gonna try to save every one of them. We'll see. We'll have different sizes of the water pins or whatever. But now that I have a lot of them, quite a bit, got a whole stack pile. I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse a trim with you, and trim them over, sitting down somewhere. So it'd be kind of cool to watch, and I'll put them in water. Of course, I did a whole time lapse for you guys of me cutting the rest of the plants, and then I put them all up in here, so you see a lot of them. But my phone died, so the time lapse was cut short. It said 10% remaining. I don't know why it doesn't just record until it dies. That sucked. But so I'm gonna show you a little bit while I brought them back in the house. I'm gonna sort them out by size and put them in these little bit of water, separate them a little bit because I have so many, and I'm trying to save them all. I'm not gonna go ahead and separate them each individual, which I should probably be best. But basically, I left some leaves up here. The rest is gonna be where it can root. So the taller ones I put in the more water, medium water, and then there's least for I have some smaller ones I really want to try to save for no other reason than just because I might not have room for them. But I usually try to cut the top three, but some of these bigger ones I just left some on the top just so they'll branch out quicker and get bigger quicker. That's perfectly fine if you want to do it like that. But again, they branch from they can branch from any of the hairs on the side, and you can bury them deeper, so it doesn't matter how much you cut as long as you leave at least three, the main ones. This is a good example of that. Could have cut these little small ones, that would have been fine, but there's no reason to. It'll probably root from, the water's like up to here, so it'll root from like right here, wherever it hits the water, and that's fine. Then you can replant them in like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month max. Here's a good example of the three main leaves left. Put them in water, they'll root. I left a little more, doesn't matter. Just gonna go in a little bit less water. I even say these little ones. She has two technically. Sometimes I have got away with two. One at one point doesn't really matter too much. These little ones I don't think I'm gonna end up saving anyway, because I gotta actually pour less water. This one can hold more. So this little one there's probably littler ones than that too, so just so it doesn't submerge itself all the way. You can try to root. These ones look ugly. Still gonna try to save them. Could cut this one too, and this one off, but still gonna try. It's fine. I got a lot of them, so even these ugly ones, I still gonna try. Hopefully they don't spread any disease. That's the only other worry I have. But I got a lot of plants, remember that. That's why I wish that it would have stayed charging or kept charged, so I could time lapse a lot of good cutting, so you can see how to cut and whatnot. I'll get rid of that little one. And then I also put them in which you guys can get to see, the extra leaves that I cut. put them in the compost. So the compost is looking really nice. It's been in there for about like 2-3 months. I just do a bucket. I'm gonna show you later, but I do a simple bucket, Home Depot, 5 gallon, 2 of them, bucket compost thing. I get a lot of the stuff that the plants like from the egg casting or the worm castings from worms in it, all of that. So very healthy, and then I'm gonna end up pouring that in the garden somewhere. Some of these I left a lot more just because they're healthier, and then they'll branch out a lot more quicker and start fruiting quicker because these are adult plants. These are clones. We cloned the mother plants that I cut from. To the beginnings of clones, and they will clone. There'll be replicas, but some of them are already damaged, so the damage will still be there until it heals. And that was soil, competition, nutrients, lack of water was a big thing, so I was letting them mostly get watered by nature on that side because I hadn't set up their watering system, which I will, and I'll show you that probably. Eventually when I start that, actually in the next few days probably while I'm off. It'd be like a drip system, type of spray drip system. I already have it in the front, or in the back more, in different places. But I have a lot more of them and more space for them. So they'll go. But so some of these I'm gonna leave in here because this water has a good size as well, and they've been in already. Take some of the smaller ones out. I can put with the other small ones. So there's not too much competition for water because then you have to refill it a lot more quicker. And these are all gonna go in a sunny spot. Actually in my garage, there's a sunny spot that I like to put things that are rooting in water. So it's like a windowsill right above where the you've seen it on the side where you see my air conditioning in for the garage. There's a windowsill right there. So it'll be right above the tomato plants in the little root. Other tomato plants, they'll look at the other tomato plants and be like, oh, I want to be like you, mommy, or sister, brother, all that, sisters. Because I thought I had more small ones. Because they're clones. We're getting to the small ones. I should put them in here. Got a lot of small ones actually. So we're about done here. Just gonna throw these small ones in here. So they're all touching the water and they can root. These can go and float sort of around other places. Higher water. I'm like talking to myself, I'm sorry. But we're about done here with these tomatoes. Pretty interesting how you can clone them and how well they'll do as clones. And so we're gonna look back eventually at a shorter video next time of how well they did do. And I'm bunching them up a lot, so I'm gonna guarantee it's not gonna be 100% that they all clone root and root. All the clones root, like these little ones here, they probably can't even touch the water. I'm gonna try to make space for them in other locations. Hopefully they touch the water. Hopefully I can pull roots out. We'll see. But now we got them separated, sorta, in different variations of water levels for the sizes, and to keep them kind of more separated so they can root out and the roots don't tangle too much. but it's going to be in water, so they're going to be kind of loosely flowing, and I can take them out real quick after a few weeks, and then we'll be back. I'll probably check them on them in a week or so, and put a little more water on this one, because they can root from wherever really. And the smaller ones that are just kind of floating, not touching anything. But so stay tuned for more growing, and grow with me. Let's grow together. Plant Daddy, our channel. So like, subscribe, and comment. Any questions you have, which I had one question that still bothers me, and you can look back in the video to see that question. All right, well, thank you very much for joining. But yeah, thank you for joining me. It was a great video, quick one. Hope you guys got as much out of it as I got, teaching you the knowledge, learning, or just reinforcing your knowledge that you already have. So like, comment, subscribe. Plant Daddy's channel. We're gonna be doing other gardening things, eventually auto things, but I'm gonna quit talking about other things than gardening here on this channel. Dedicate to that, because got like a session coming up. It's going to be more important than ever to be an urban gardener. So see you next time. Thank you for joining us again. My daddy is out.